So we got Jim Gillette here on the phone. When you're making the Nitro reunion again, because you're one high-pitched singer back in the days with Freight Train.
Which one? Freight Train. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. That's the one everybody remembers.
Yeah, because you had that famous video. Where did you guys get the idea to make all those harmonies you're doing, and how high were you doing the octaves back then?
Boy, it was my idea to do all the harmonies because I liked it. I always liked the way Queen sounded with their big harmonies.
Right.
And I also liked the suite. Remember the suite? I liked the big background vocals for both of those. And I enjoyed doing them, and I thought it was something that kind of made us different because not many people were doing big harmonies like that back then, and also nobody could do the big harmonies I was doing, and so that was, all of our songs had big harmonies like that. And how high, I don't know. I was doing most of the songs on that first Nitro album had three to five different parts, and I do all those parts in 4 different octaves. Yeah. So every part that I was doing, I did it in 4 separate different octaves. So there's a lot of voices. Most of the tracks had 120 to 140 tracks of background vocals.
And you worked with Doug Marks for Metal Method with your vocal lessons back in the day?
Yeah, actually, I met Doug because he was looking for a singer for his Hawk album. And from what he tells me, I was one of 2 people picked out of a couple thousand. And when I went there to sing in person for him, I hadn't eaten in 9 days. I was a starving musician, and so I didn't do that great at the audition because I could barely stand up and stay awake. I was so messed up from not eating. And but we became friends after that, and I put out my vocal lessons, and I did that for a year or 2. But then Nitro got a record deal, and I just couldn't keep up with the orders. I was too busy with Nitro, so I asked Doug if he'd like to, continue to sell mine, and he said sure. And then a couple of years after that, we put them on video instead of cassette. So, and he still sells them today, believe it or not. They've been for sale for over 20 years.
Wow, and they're still selling like hotcakes.
I wouldn't say hotcakes, but still sell quite a few. Yeah, but surprisingly to me, we still sell quite a few. I get letters and emails all the time, from kids still. Actually, I was going to say on the last tour that we did with Queensryche when we were doing the Lita stuff, I had quite a few students come to the shows, and when after all the shows, we'd go out by the bus and sign autographs, and at every show, I'd have a student or 2 there, so it was pretty cool.
What's your relationship with Michael Angelo these days?
We talk a couple of times a month. Yeah, he's a good guy, man.
Because he's doing mostly his solo stuff and doing work with other people.
Yeah, he does tons and tons of guitar clinics, and actually, our son right now, our oldest son, James, he's 12. Lita's teaching him how to play guitar, and Angelo just sent him all of his videos. So he's got Lita teaching him all the feel stuff she has, and he's got Mike sending him all the stuff to get fast. So it's pretty cool.
He's gonna turn out into one great guitar player then.
I think so. I think he's gonna have the best of both worlds. He's singing like a banshee already, man. We're actually Lita started about 3 years ago. No, actually more than that. 4 years ago, writing songs for the boys, and we recorded one, and we're going to start recording some more because they've both got great voices, man. James hits notes I've never hit, believe it or not.
So Metal Method basically sold, and that was a product of you doing vocal lessons, and the people would just buy the videotape back in the day because I don't think it was on DVD, and the people just learned. Yeah, and they still sell them.
Still selling those videos, man. It's wild.
That's incredible. I would have never imagined. So they still got them in stock.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Back when I had it, nobody had sold more lessons, vocal lessons, than I had. I don't know if that's still true today. I'd venture to bet it's true, but I can't be positive today.
So right now you take a big part in Lita Ford's career, and you're playing basically live with her and singing.
Yep, sure am. As good as a guitar player that Angelo was, I like playing with my wife a lot better because I get to grab her ass on stage.
Yeah, I can't grab Michael's ass. That wouldn't be too good.
No.
You basically go to all the shows. Are you all on the album as well?
Yep. If the vocals aren't Lita, they're me.
Because I've heard some tracks of the album, Wicked Wonderland. It's a really heavy album. Who decided to go that route for Lita? Was it Lita itself?
Lita, when we decided to record one of the first things she told me was, I want to make a heavy album. I don't want to make no sandals and hairy armpit music. So, definitely not sandals and hairy armpit music.
No, not on this one. I don't even think she made that type of music in the past either.
No.
That's a hard statement.
But I think some people maybe what she was thinking is that because she'd been gone so long.
Right.
And because, everybody, a lot of people knew that we were gone on a deserted island and we had kids, and I think maybe she was kind of joking because maybe what people would expect, would have been for her to mellow out. And she definitely hasn't mellowed out.
What do you think that Lita is on Brutal Legends, immortalized now in a game?
Yeah, that's great.
That's a good.
It's fun. We do all the MySpace and Facebook, and nobody ever thinks we do that. They think we pay somebody to do that, and that actually came through the creator of the game, Tim Schafer, which is a really cool guy. He's a real metalhead, and if you've seen the soundtrack, I think it's like 110 or 115 songs. It's just awesome. He wrote it to us at MySpace and said, I know this is strange. Please pass this along. I don't know how to get a hold of anybody. Da-da-da-da-da-da. And we wrote him back about 15 minutes later and said, hey, man, what do you got? And he called us, and, man, that was it. It was great.
Do you ever seen the future for yourself, Nitro being part of a game?
Actually, we're in Brutal Legend too.
The band
Believe
Nitro?
it or not, yeah.
Really? Didn't know that.
Machine Gun Eddie. That's why I know this guy's a serious fan. When he figured out who I was, all he said to me was, Machine Gun Eddie. And I went, what? And he said, you're the Machine Gun Eddie guy. You did that scream. And because on Machine Gun Eddie, I hold a real high scream for 32 seconds. And he said, I got to have that in the game. So next thing I knew, we had Betrayal, which is on the new Lita album. And then Machine Gun Eddie is also on the soundtrack. So it's really cool. Good talking with you, dude.